Hey everybody, it is Thursday and it is super smoky in Portland from all the wildfires that, well, on top of everything, 2020 let's just burn down the state. Why not? But I got to thinking it's probably not such a great idea for me to be walking around in this smoke because it's really thick. I've never seen it like this in Portland before. A couple summers ago it got smoky, but not like this. This is like how it gets in Hood River. But I'm reminded of that Firesign theater line, out of the fog and into the smog, relentlessly, ruthlessly. I wonder where Ruth is. So today let's do a short one here. Let's talk a little bit. Oh, hi, how you doing? Talk a little bit about I'm gonna thank my grandma Nell for pretty much giving me the opportunity to learn what I needed and wanted to learn about comedy and music. It all comes down to her garage sales in Albany. Now, my parents worked for my dad worked for the airline, so my mom and dad every summer would generally wouldn't take all of the kids. You'd take one of the kids with them, or maybe none of us. The rest of the kids in the family, my brother and two sisters, well, we would spend the summers at grandma's house in Albany while our parents were in, like, Crete. And my grandmother, Nell, was just the sweetest woman, I tell you. Taught herself how to play musical instruments. She's just that kind of a woman. And she had an ongoing, continual garage sale in Albany, Oregon, in her old house. And because it was a continual thing, you know, she would employ me as a young man, little kid, to run a garage sale for a percentage of the profits. Like, I'd get all the profits unless it was some big item, then that would go to grandmother. But in this garage sale were boxes of vinyl records, just boxes and boxes of them. People would around Albany would donate to this garage sale. I don't understand it, but that is the way things worked back in the 1970s. And but these boxes of records, I would sit in that garage and just play these record albums that were there. So I was limited to only the records that were left at this garage sale, but some of these records changed my life. I remember being blown away by Inagata Devita because there was one song on a whole side of a record. Man, that blew my mind. And I kind of started to really enjoy anything that was really long. But there were boxes and boxes of comedy records. Like, back then, I had listened to all of the comedy records that were available at the time in the 70s, all of the George Carlin. And when I found Firesign Theater, well, that was when everything changed for me. My mind was blown wide open. I found Firesign Theater before I found Monty Python, but I was on the path there, and all because of Grandma Nell and her garage sale in Albany. And then I went to started hitting other garage sales looking for records, mostly comedy records. I wanted all the comedy records, and so I started, kind of stocking and selling records at a really early age. Before I ever worked in a record store, I worked at Grandma Nell's garage sale. And like I said, today's really not the day to be walking around in this outside with this smoke hanging in the air. So I'm going to cut this one short, out of the fog and into the smog, relentlessly, ruthlessly.